After 5 weeks of rigorous training, the end is in sight for Maria Castellina as she continues her transformation from Flab to fit.
This week I've really stepped up the pace again. Been throwing everything at Maria. We've been using barbells, set with kettlebells and bodyweight exercises as well. So just really things that are focusing on full body workouts to just maximise building as much lean muscle in the final couple of weeks and burning as much body fat as I can too.
It's been good. I mean, I was slightly sick towards the end of the week, which wasn't great, but we had a good rugby game on Sunday and a good win against local rivals, so that was really great, and I could really notice the difference on the pitch.
2 weeks after Maggie Alfonsi offered her support, there's more encouragement for Maria in the formidable shape of England international James Haskell.
Diet is 70% of everything we do, and recovery and training is the remaining 30%. So for me, I eat 6 times a day. I really care about my diet. I prepare my food every morning or every evening, and it's something that has become a lifestyle to me now. I always start every day with steak and nuts for breakfast. I have a black coffee. I cook all my food in coconut oil. And I have a spoonful of that as it's a great energy source in the morning. And then for the remainder of the meal, I have carbs at every meal, vegetables and chicken, white fish or red meat.
During spells in France and New Zealand, the much-travelled back row forward has managed to adapt his diet, but this proved more of a challenge in the Far East.
I think in Japan it was tricky, mainly because when I went to Japan the first time at the local supermarket, I went in there and I couldn't understand where there was meat. There was no meat, there was no fish, there was no nothing. There was loads of dried goods, noodles, rice, etc. And I went away pretty disheartened. I had to keep eating out, and then again, because I didn't speak Japanese, it was very hard to work out. It was only when an ex-girlfriend of mine went into the shop did she find a little staircase in the corner that took you downstairs to a whole fish and meat and everything section. So that was stupidity on my fault, but it was the most difficult. You could never have seen the entrance if you tried. So I found out that was fine. Then I was able to cook my food and really get into it.
Haskell is renowned for his outstanding fitness, preparation and physique, developed in the company of some of the world's top players.
There's been some pretty impressive specimens and some pretty fit guys I've come across in my career. My old housemate Ollie Phillips, he looks like an accountant that's got lost on a rugby field, but he is probably one of the fittest individuals I've ever met. He was unbelievable. Someone like Brad Thorne, he lasted so long because he was outstanding. He was very keen to do work. It's not a squat, it's a step back.
So time for Haskell to pass on his experience to Maria.
Yeah. So I'm going to do a couple of things that I think are quite functional for a rugby player. So I'm going to do something called a ninja, which is essentially practicing getting over the ball. So you take a medicine ball, you do a couple of rotations, bounce your feet, release the ball, pull it up over your head, put it down, and do that. That's quite dynamic. And then I've got a little favourite thing, either some kettlebell swings, because there's hip drive in everything we do in rugby. If you're trying to make a tackle, you need to have a good hip drive, especially in contact, being able to pump your legs, or a bit of lizard crawling. That mobility in your hips, ability to get low, get off the floor, get back to your feet, will be key.
With the session over, how is Maria shaping up?
So we're into week 5 and we've just done Maria's weight and we're down by 2 kilograms, which from the start is a staggering 6 kgs. This week, Maria's chest has gone down by another centimetre, which is a total of 6 centimetres. Her waist, we're down another centimetre, which is a total of 8 centimetres, and her hips have remained the same, but it's a total of 8 centimetres, and that might be a factor that actually, because she's losing so much at the moment, that her hips are now her hips and there's no more fat to lose, and it will get to a point where her hip measurement does stay the same. So Maria's body fat is down this week by 0.7%, which is a total of 8%, which again is a really good figure, and it's something that we've been focused on all the time, and it's just showing that the training and the hard work in the kitchen's paying off.
I'm really looking forward to the end now. With 1 week to go, there's sort of finishing ends in sight, and I'm certainly quite determined for this last week to kind of get it right.